What's up, doll collectors, hobbyists, fabs, and besties? I'm Toya, an adult doll collector. Welcome to my miniverse. My nail polish is chipping, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna jump right into today's project. A while back, we made a doll room in a shoebox. In this video right here, it's a small space that is easy to store. It has a seating area and a little bit of storage. But let's add to it and give it a little makeover. Fully extended, this room is about 21 inches long and about 5 inches wide. If we fold this side over, we can reduce the length by about 2.5, maybe 3 inches, but then that would make it about 8 inches wide. Let's take a recycled cardboard box. This is probably not the best choice because there's not a lot of flat areas, but this is what we got, so we're using it. Begin cutting the cardboard into flat rectangles. I cut a piece of poster board the size I want my base to be, glue on the scraps of cardboard to make the base. Let's clean it up and add another piece of poster board on top to make a board. Place the shoebox on top, mark where we plan to glue it. For the floor plan, now we can glue down scrapbook paper for the different areas, or we can use hot glue or tissue paper for a little texture. We can draw a few stones, then fill them in with hot glue to make a stone path. Now I'm going to glue my shoebox to the base. On the other side, I cut jumbo craft sticks. Having some difficulties cutting my jumbo craft sticks with the miter shears, so I just use scissors. Then glue the craft sticks onto the floor. We have a few gaps that we need to fill in, so I'll try to fix that with a baseboard later. But first, cut leftover cardboard to make 2 triangles that we can glue on top of the shoebox. Glue more cardboard on top to make a roof. On the other side, let's draw a door. I cut the same shape out of cardstock or paperboard. I glued on a second layer. I used my dotting tool on a flat surface to add a wood grain. I made a heavier line every inch going across, then paint it and allow it to dry. While waiting, let's sketch a frame going around the door and the window. Then take a few paper cartons from the grocery store, tear off pieces, and glue them onto the walls. Using these and paper egg cartons is a popular way to add texture. I don't have a ton of experience with it, so I thought it would be fun to give it a go today. I added a hot glue border around the door and window. I glue a small strip of cardboard above the door. For a small roof, I cut leftover cardboard into strips, then make a few small cuts going down, cut it to the width of the roof, and then glue it on, overlapping them slightly to give our roof shingles. On the inside, let's go ahead and remove a few items from the walls. Well, not a few. I'm removing everything. Oops, I ripped the wallpaper. We're gonna have to fix that. I wanted to tone it down a little bit anyway, so let's do this scrapbook paper and glue it right onto the walls. Then let's add this darker wood grain on the side and across the bottom. My patching is a little sloppy, so we'll need to cover that later. Let's take a little dark brown paint and carefully paint the top. We're painting all of that exposed cardboard and glue. We can even touch up the edges of the paper so they're a little less noticeable. Multiple coats might be needed, and the cardboard might get a little wobbly. But it's on the roof, so I'm hoping it'll be okay. On the outside, let's go ahead and paint everything black. This is going to be my base coat, and of course, you can always go with brown or gray or whatever color you like. I just have to be careful not to get any paint on the window. However, we could probably just wipe it off too. It does take a minute to get into all of those tiny little spaces. We are also painting the ground black. While the front is drying, let's paint the craft sticks. I'm using a little bit of that brown mixed with a little bit of black. I just didn't clean my brush. I just keep going. And let's add a little brown to the ground outside. Then let's paint the trim going around the windows and the door. Then let's start adding a little gray and brown and a lighter gray and brown until we get the look that we want. Let's add a little green on the ground and lightly dry brush the roof to create a little contrast. It's starting to look like a cottage, so we're gonna let this dry. While waiting, let's take scraps of foam board and glue them together to make a small platform. Cover with paper, glue a covered board on the top and bottom, glue 2 more covered boards onto the front, glue it into the room onto the wall, glue a few covered boards onto the wall for shelves. My door doesn't look quite the way I had hoped, so let's just cover it with scrapbook paper, then glue it on. Take artificial plants and glue them around the house. I really want this to feel like a cottage hidden in the woods, so I'm adding a lot of plants. I bought this artificial plant that looks like moss. I'm gonna glue a little hanging off the roof. Not too bad. I bought these stickers at the dollar store a while back. Let's add them to the door for more detail. On the inside, let's glue some cream fabric over this floral print. Add a few pillows and a throw, and we can bring back the small crocheted blanket that was in here before. Let's glue a few plants hanging down the walls. We can add the wreath that we made in our fall decor video onto the side wall. Let's add a few plants from Make It Mini Lifestyle. I put them in a glass vase I found on Amazon, and I'm just gonna glue it onto the counter. We can add a few tiny glass jars I bought at Michael's. I bought these mini glass jars with a cork at the dollar store. We can take some of those artificial plants and place them inside to place a few more items on the shelf. Add a few of our printable books, and let's add one of our Target candles. We can just turn it around if we don't want to see the label to turn our shoebox into a cozy little cottage in the woods. Well, it was kind of a cozy cottage before, but now we have curb appeal. I totally built this for Elphaba so she can study the magic of nature and plants and help them grow. And now we have a place to store our DIY broom. I keep talking about this broom. Sorry, I'm just so proud of it. I also see this room as a place to store more plants and miniature accessories. And it could be the perfect little cottage for Cinderella. And the broom works too. This is our Disney Descendants The Rise of Red Cinderella that we rerouted in an earlier video. And I dressed her in a costume that we made a few years back. It was a witch costume, but it totally works. Thank you for joining us while we turned our shoebox into a cottage that can no longer fold up. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff, the Frog Vlog, and Bella of MyFroggyStuff. And we will see you next time.